Good day. This presentation, video presentation, is the last of 3 presentations on food dieting. In the first video, I explained about low-carb diets. You should only get carbohydrates from green vegetables, green leaves, period. You had to eat least amount, as low as possible, carbohydrates to get a remission from diabetes. Completely, you can lose diabetes by following the low-carb diet. I guarantee I did it. And in the second video presentation, I explained about vegetable oils. Good vegetable oil, better vegetable oils. Like regular oils, corn, soybean, sunflower, all these oils are good, but they have less omega-3 and more omega-6, which is not good. Omega-6 gives a lot of diseases. And omega-3 is good for health and heart. And I gave examples of olive oil, flaxseed oil, and coconut oil, butter, and fish oil. Flaxseed oil, I'm not sure what is. It's called linseed oil also in India. They use for varnish and all that. Linseed or flaxseed oil. Telugulo avisa anukuntaanu. Avisa oil anukuntaanu. Now this flaxseed oil, avisa chettu ma intlo undedi chinnappudu. It came by itself, became a big tree. White flowers, chinna flowers. My grandmother, which is very resourceful lady, she used to cook the flowers and young leaves like drumstick, moringa species అంటారు చూసారా, మునగ చెట్టు డ్రమ్స్టిక్, ఆ లీవ్స్ ఫ్లవర్స్ కూడా వండుతుంటారు. మా గ్రాండ్ మదర్ అవి కూడా కుక్ చేస్తుంది. బట్ ఎనీవే, కమింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు ద సబ్జెక్ట్ మ్యాటర్. సో దీస్ ఆయిల్స్ ఆర్ గుడ్. డోంట్ యూస్ కార్న్, సోయాబీన్, సన్ఫ్లవర్, పీనట్ ఆయిల్ ఆర్ సెసమీ ఆయిల్ అంటే నువ్వులు. డోంట్ యూస్ దెమ్. ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఇట్, కన్స్యూమ్ ఇట్, ఫినిష్ ఇట్ అండ్ బై ద oils. Because after carbohydrates, glucose, fat is the number 2 to supply energy to the body for metabolic functions, which I have described. I want to conclude this video presentation, the third one, on protein. Protein is very important for muscle mass. You have to develop muscle and to maintain muscle. Particularly if you are over 50, 60, 70, you need a lot of proteins to develop the muscles. Otherwise, the muscles will deteriorate, decay, and you cannot walk. Simply, you cannot walk without muscles. So for muscle build-up, you need protein. And then, in India, all are vegetarians, most 80-90%. For them, the choices are limited when it comes to protein intake. They can only depend on small amount of proteins from vegetables, even eggplant and tomatoes and green leaf vegetables have little high protein. Generally, the vegetables have 2 to 3% protein. Remember that. And green leaf vegetables may have 1 or 2% more, but still they are very low. You can't live on proteins from depending on green vegetables. Period. So you have to depend on pulses and dal, pappu, pesarapappu, kandipappu, nuvu, ee pappu, and also beans, black beans, black eye beans. But the problem with the beans and pulses is they have good protein, 22-25%, but they have also carbohydrates, which is bad for health, particularly for diabetes people. So you cannot eat these legumes, pulses, dal. So what protein they can take? So they have only choices few. Some they get from green leaves and green vegetables, I told you. The rest, they have to get it from soya protein. Tofu is one. And also there are small granules like they sell in the market. You can mix with vegetables. And the third source is eggs. Some vegetarians, 50% eat eggs. Egg is the number 1 protein. So excellent source of proteins. Remember that. Okay. And then, I think I'm not getting a light here, so I'll turn towards sunlight to the window. Maybe I get some more light. So this, for non-vegetarians, it's very important. When you go and buy chicken in the grocery or department store, that chicken is go in cages. They fed grain, cotton seed, peanuts, various అలాంటి high protein food feed చేసి 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds few months, 6 months muscles పెట్టి అమ్మేస్తారు. The problem with that chicken is the chicken fat, when you cook, there's a lot of fat from the skin, which is good fat. But the problem with the chicken fat from chickens grown in the cages is the omega-6 fatty acids are high, 1 to 20. 1 omega-3, 20 omega-6. As I said, omega-6 is bad, inflammation. Omega-3 is good, anti-inflammatory. That's the reason why when you buy chicken, free-range chicken అని అమ్ముతుంటారు అమెరికాలో. I'm sure ఇండియాలో కూడా ఉంది ఆర్గానిక్ చికెన్ అని అమ్మచ్చు. Organic chicken or free-range chicken. అంటే ఈ చికెన్ they leave it in the field. Let it feed themselves. Small organisms, worms తిని grow అవుతాయి. Those are దాన్ని the code అంటారు. Some village code is something like that in Telugu. నాటుకోడి అంటారు, I think so. I got it right. నాటుకోడి. That meat is good because that meat has fats equal balance. Omega-3 to omega-6కి 1 to 2, 1 to 3. మహా అయితే 3 times omega-6 ఉంటుంది. బట్ మిగతా చికెన్స్లో 20 to 1, 20, 30 times more omega-6 or 3. So buy free-range chicken, నాటుకోడి. When it comes to goat, same thing. Goat grow on green grass, grazing. ఇప్పుడు గోట్స్ ఫ్రీగా ఫీల్డ్లో గ్రేజ్ చేసి మీటులో omega-3, omega-6 మంచి రేషియో 1 to 2, 3 omega-6 to 1 omega-1, which is very close, better than 20, 30 omega-6 to omega-3. So when you buy the goat meat, buy grass-fed. Remember, grass-fed goat. When you buy chicken, buy free-range chicken. Fish, and of course, the fish is fish, so you can buy any fish. Salmon is good, cod, and there is a whole varieties of fish you can eat. Shrimp is good; it's a good source of protein. Shrimp, crab is good, lobster is good. These are all good meats and good fat, very good fat. Fish fat, 3 for every 3 omega. There is 1 omega-6. The ratio is reversed. High omega-3, low omega-6. That you can get in nowhere except in flaxseed to a certain extent. You got it? So this is the last chapter I'm presenting on this video about omega protein. So protein, when you take protein, when you eat protein, when you eat fish, when you eat eggs, egg is the number 1 source of protein, very good. తర్వాత fish meats, okay? When you eat protein, what happens? I will describe very simple terms. The protein is divided into amino acids and ammonia in the body, in the liver. When you eat meat, when you eat egg, it goes to liver, and the liver enzymes will break down protein into amino acids. There are lot of amino acids, but there are 13 amino acids called essential amino acids. These amino acids, the body cannot manufacture, they cannot make, period. The body has to get from the food you eat. You understand? You get it, that? These 3 essential amino acids have to get from the food you eat. The other amino acids the body can manufacture, they can combine and recombine and make. Because these amino acids are building block of protein. These amino acids coming from protein is the building block. These amino acids will develop tissue cells to tissue, muscles of that. So that is it. And of course, when protein is broken down in the liver, amino acids will come. Amino acid divided into keto acid, which provide the muscle cells. But ammonia పైకి వస్తుంది. Keto amino acid split అయినప్పుడు ammonia and keto acid energy and muscle development. Ammonia is a toxic element, a very waste. It's very dangerous. But ammonia turns into urea in the kidneys and goes to the urination. ఇప్పుడు అందుకనే యూరిన్ అంటారు. యూరిన్ అంటే ఇక్కడ పీ అంటారు, లేకపోతే యూరిన్ అంటారు. యూరిన్ అంటే ఆ వేరు ఎందుకు వచ్చిందంటే ఇట్ కేమ్ ఫ్రమ్ యూరియా. యూరియా ఇస్ ఏ నైట్రోజన్, 2 NH3 గ్రూప్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఫెర్టిలైజర్ కింద యూరియా యూజ్ చేస్తారు. అమోనియం సల్ఫేట్, యూరియా ఇస్ 2 మేజర్ నైట్రోజన్ ఫెర్టిలైజర్స్ ఇన్ ఫీల్డ్. ఇప్పుడు ఫార్మర్స్ అయితే మీకు అండర్స్టాండ్ అవుతుంది. యూరియా ఇస్ 43% నైట్రోజన్, చీపెస్ట్ nitrogen. Ammonium sulfate expensive. And urea is also a byproduct of petrochemical industry. That's why it's cheap. You understand that? But that's a different story. So, I told you about good hydrocarbons, carbohydrates, green vegetables, green leafy vegetables. Small amount of carbohydrates is good because you get out of the diabetes and you lose weight. Don't eat carbs at all if you can. That's mad, right? And then eat good vegetable oil, the 4 I mentioned: flaxseed, fish oil, coconut oil, butter. These are the good oils you can consume. They provide second energy source for the body for metabolic functions. And the third source of energy for body is proteins. The meat needs excellent proteins or soya proteins. They supply energy through keto amino acids. The proteins divided into amino acids explained, and amino acids again split into ammonia and keto acid, and the keto acid provide the source for muscle development and energy. So when we eat these carbohydrates, fats or vegetable oils and protein through meat and eggs, the body uses glucose first, sugar first. That is small amount you are getting because you are on diet. You are not eating carbohydrates at all, a small amount from veggies, green veggies. But it's getting, now the energy main sources is fat, vegetable oil, good vegetable oils list I gave you, and proteins, eggs, fish, and red meat and soya protein. And with this third presentation, I'm concluding the items I want to discuss with you about food. Food for healthy living, particularly when you go, if you're 30, 20, 30, 40, you can eat, digest, your young body, it metabolizes anything you eat. But once you are 45, 50, 60, 70, you have to be very careful what you eat. And you cannot put weight and you have to lose weight. Because you accumulated weight over a period of 50, 60, 70, 80 years if you live long enough. So all that weight you have to lose and stabilize. Okay.